I think the more important monetary policy mover right now is what the Fed is doing.
So Imre, today we'll be taking a look at the outlook for the New Zealand dollar. So why is the New Zealand dollar so strong and why is it staying stronger for longer?
The main reason, I believe, is the Kiwi dollar's high yield. It is one of the highest carry currencies in the world, certainly the highest in the developed world. A trader who is holding Kiwi dollars and holding it against the US is going to earn about a 1.5% gain per annum if nothing moves. So it has a very large yield advantage over any other developed currency. And in a world where interest rates are close to zero in many countries, investors are looking for these currencies as long as they're backed by sound, strong economies and good institutions, which in the case of the New Zealand economy, that is certainly true.
And will the Reserve Bank of New Zealand, will their policy be important in interpreting the New Zealand dollar and its strength at the moment?
I don't believe so, no. In fact, over the last year, or just a bit longer than a year, we've seen the Reserve Bank here cutting interest rates by 150 basis points. And you can see by the chart that the Kiwi dollar has dislocated from interest rate differentials. In other words, it's saying that the Reserve Bank cutting rates doesn't matter too much. Your yields are still high and we still like to buy your currency. I believe if I wanted to make a real difference, it would have to cut the OCR, which is currently 2%, by about another 100 basis points and take it down to about 1%. I think the more important monetary policy mover right now is what the Fed is doing. If the Fed starts pushing up US interest rates, then I think that will matter. And then interest rates differentials will play a part. But just New Zealand cutting rates on its own, I don't believe it has a strong influence at the moment.
Okay, and now taking a look at the commodity leader for New Zealand, and that is dairy. So do dairy commodity prices, do they matter when looking at the New Zealand dollar?
Yes, they do. So obviously when you're looking at the Kiwi-US exchange rate, US factors will always dominate. But when there's not much going on in the US, and if you're looking at Kiwi fundamentals that do matter to the exchange rate, we would say commodities are probably the main driver. And of commodities, dairy is the most important. It's the dominant export commodity. And amongst dairy products, whole milk powder is the main one to be watching. Foreign exchange traders do watch whole milk powder prices pretty closely. There is a GTD auction held twice a month. And over the last year, we have seen a rise from a record low. So in part, I think that is also an explanation as to why the Kiwi dollar has been quite strong.
So would you say the key items to watch are whole milk prices for commodity impact and also the Federal Reserve on impact for the Reserve Bank of New Zealand?
Absolutely. Those are the two things to watch, with the Fed the most important. And to put it quite simply, if the Fed does indeed tighten late this year and carries on next year, we should see the US dollar rise and Kiwi US fall. If the Fed doesn't do that, then I think the Kiwi can rise beyond 74 cents and go up to 75, 76 over the next few months.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the line to provide your insights. Well, that's all from us here in the Geneva studios, but if you did like this interview, then Duke TV have plenty more on our website. Goodbye for now.